Are celebrities losing too much weight and getting too thin these days? They think no, but every fan is worried, and rightfully so. Rosé from the K-pop group Blackpink has been sparking major concerns lately. Videos of Rosé performing her solo stage during the St. Denis stop of Blackpink's Born Pink World Tour quickly went viral for all the wrong reasons. Dressed in a cropped bandeau top, Rosé's ribcage could be seen protruding out when she lifted her arms, prompting people to comment that she's basically skin and bones. Many believe she has developed an eating disorder and, hope that she seeks help soon if she does need it. Sarah Hyland has fans deeply worried lately. The Modern Family actress suffered from kidney dysplasia and her weight fluctuated as a result. Not that it has stopped online trolls though from thin shaming her, but thankfully Sarah isn't afraid to hit back. She put out a tweet that said, "My circumstances have put me in a place where I'm not in control of what my body looks like, so I strive to be as healthy as possible, as everyone should. My self-confidence is not rendered from your comments, because I will always be too fat, I will always be too skinny, I will never have enough curves to be called a woman. Love the you set out to be." But fans still want her to seek help and are concerned she may just be lying to herself with this one. Adele is concerning fans lately with her huge transformation. If you can remember, Adele's drastic transformation was the talk of the town back in 2019. The singer kept her weight loss journey under wraps and stunned everyone when she turned up at Drake's 33rd birthday party with a totally different look. It was later revealed that Adele started working out daily to manage her anxiety, and her workouts consisted mainly of weightlifting and circuit training. She said in an interview, "It was never about losing weight, it was always about becoming strong and giving myself as much time every day without my phone." But fans are concerned that she's become dependent actually on the GLP-1 medication Ozempic. Ariana Grande still is sparking major concerns amongst fans in regards to her weight and overall health. It must be frustrating to receive comments about your weight every time you post a photo or video, no matter how well-meaning. Ariana Grande took to TikTok to address the growing concerns over her weight loss, reminding people that it is best to refrain from commenting on somebody else's body. She said, "The body that you've been comparing my current body to was the unhealthiest version of my body." She further explained that she was on antidepressants and drinking and on top of eating poorly, now calling it the lowest point in her life. Jet Li has sparked major concerns recently over his health. We know Jet Li as a martial artist and action star, so it came as a shock to many when photos of him looking very gaunt and frail surfaced. Amidst the outpouring of concern, Jet Li's manager clarified that the actor was in good health and there was nothing to worry about, chalking his frail appearance to an unflattering angle and lightning. That said, Jet Li was actually diagnosed with hyperthyroidism in 2010, which he is managing with medication.
Sharon Osbourne is probably the poster child for Ozempic and how fast and well it can work. Although Sharon has seemed to go too far with it though, as she looks sick, not skinny. She's revealed that she's lost over 40 pounds on medication, and for someone who is already on the smaller side, this is concerning. But even Sharon knows that she's gone too far, which is a good thing, as she claims she's trying to get to a healthy weight to maintain. Now typically Ozempic is meant to be taken long term, but Sharon stopped taking the medication after a year because she couldn't stop losing weight. "I'm too gaunt and I can't put any weight on. I want to because I feel I'm too skinny. I didn't want to get this thin, it just happened," Sharon said on Piers Morgan Uncensored. And when she was asked if being on Ozempic was a positive experience for her, Sharon was honest, replying yes and no. "I can't put on weight now and I don't know what it's done to my metabolism, but I just can't seem to put any on because I think I went too far." Oprah lost a lot of weight very quickly a couple years ago, and everyone was convinced that she cheated by stopping Weight Watchers and getting surgery or using weight loss medication. Now it turns out people were right, as during an interview in December 2023, Oprah said, "I eat my last meal at 4 o'clock, drink a gallon of water a day, and use the Weight Watchers principles of counting points." But then she went on by saying, "I now use an unnamed weight loss drug as because I feel I need it as a tool to manage not yo-yoing. The fact that there's a medically approved prescription for managing weight and staying healthier in my lifetime feels like a relief, like redemption, like a gift, and not something to hide behind and once again ridiculed for. Now, some fans though think that she has gone too far with her look. Rosie O'Donnell has also been raising concern about her rapid weight loss. Now, she's lost a lot of weight, but she has been open about using weight loss medications to help her. When buying new clothes, she said that she was undecided as I can't see myself in this new smaller body. I am shocked that I'm a size 12. Monjaro is a lifesaver, she added. Now, in an Instagram post, she spoke more candidly about the change, saying, I can't believe this is me now. I've lost more weight here. I'm on Monjaro for my diabetes, and one of the side effects is you lose weight. I am one of those people who's always had a weight issue, and now that I'm a size large instead of an XL or 2XL, I find it shocking, Rosie explained in a March TikTok. I've been wearing elastic waist pants for a very long time, she said. And finally, Meghan Trainor is another celebrity who has gone too far. Now, she has admitted to using weight loss medication, and she is incredibly tiny now, even though she's built her entire brand on not being the perfect size and loving her weight and her curves. Now, how she looks now is nothing like how she did at the beginning of her career, and it doesn't really follow her message of body positivity. Not to mention, Meghan has actually tweaked one of the most iconic lines from one of her biggest hits, All About That Bass, which is a song about not being skinny. Recently, when she was performing the song live, she seemingly switched the line, "It's pretty clear I ain't no size 2, with "It's pretty clear I got some new boobs," and fans were just not having it.
While Kelly Clarkson has been more private about her weight loss journey, she did disclose that she's taking something that aids in helping break down the sugar because her body doesn't do it right, and addressed the Ozempic rumor. She said, my doctor chased me for 2 years and I was like, no, I'm afraid of it. I already have thyroid problems. Everybody thinks it's Ozempic, but it's not. It's something else. Girl, it's Monjaro, which is the GLP-1 medication, which is another brand of Ozempic. Come on now. But you look good, so okay, Sarah. Jelly Roll started his weight loss journey in 2022 at 540 pounds. By April 2025, he revealed he had lost nearly 200 pounds and hoped to lose another 100 pounds. He explained while on Jimmy Kimmel Live, saying, for the non-fluffy people in the world, I would give y'all some educational course here. To do all the fun stuff in life, you've got to be under 250. I want to skydive. I want to ride a roller coaster. I want to ride a bull. Well, go ride that bull, Jelly Roll. Go ride that bull. Whoopi Goldberg has slimmed down a lot, and she's a ghost of her old self. While discussing the ABC special Winfrey produced about the topic of weight loss medication on The View, Whoopi Goldberg actually told the audience that she had lost weight herself with the help of Monjaro. She said, I will tell you, I weighed almost 300 pounds when I made Till, which is the 2022 film she acted in and produced. She added that she didn't realize the extent of her weight gain until one day she said, I saw me and I thought, oh, that's a lot of me. She also urged compassion for anyone who has experienced weight gain or loss. Jazz Jennings. In June 2025, the I Am Jazz star from TLC Network shared a few updates with fans on her Instagram. She'd walked across the stage at her Harvard graduation ceremony, and she had a new look after losing 100 pounds. The selfies she shared were a culmination of the work she'd been putting in over the past 2 years, a weight loss journey. She had shared updates along the way. She said, no matter my weight, I have always felt beautiful. However, losing this weight and prioritizing my health has created a shift within. Well, good on you, Jazz. Adele's quest for better mental health led to her weight loss, though the singer stressed that wasn't the end goal. She began working out as a way to manage her anxiety in 2018, and 3 years later, she was down 100 pounds. She said, it became my time. She told Vogue of her intensive weightlifting and circuit training sessions at Heart and Hustle, a private gym in West Hollywood. She said, I realized that when I was working out, I didn't have any anxiety. I was never about losing weight. Though David Harbour had fans swooning over his ripped physique in season 4 of Stranger Things, the actor said he doesn't see himself dropping weight for a role ever again. Harbour lost 80 pounds for season 4 of the Netflix show because his character, Jim Hopper, was held captive by Russians at a labor camp at the top of the season. To get the weight off, he took on intermittent fasting and Pilates, so he says. He said, I lost about 80 pounds from season 3. I was about 270 then, and when we shot season 4, I was around 190. Well, stranger things have happened, so hey.
Ryan Seacrest has been worrying his fans about his new appearance, as some claim that he's gotten too thin in new photos that he's posted online. Now, recently, Ryan posted a photo dump on Instagram and captioned it, lately, quickly. Now, in one of the photos, he posted his whole body, where fans realized that he looked skinnier than usual, which caused some serious concern. "He looks frail to me. I hope he's doing okay," one worried fan commented. "Ryan, I respect your love for fitness and eating well, but you're looking pretty gaunt," another said, while a third chimed in, "Ryan, you're getting too skinny. Ryan, I adore you, but the big but, you are looking too thin. Sometimes being thin can age a person." Now, there were also people in the comments who supported Ryan and slammed his critics. "I just think it's rude to tell someone they're too skinny. I get told this a lot and I cannot help it with the medication I am on. Be positive and encouraging, y'all," one fan said. Another angrily said, "It's not okay to comment on someone's body, period. Just because he is a male celebrity, this is his personal account." While someone else added, "He's a real human who has feelings and ages and changes. Your concern for him is laced in judgment and is just plain rude. Would you say this to his face? Then don't say them here." Now, Ryan has been open about his past body image issues over the years, as he previously revealed that he was overweight as a child. He had shared that at just 13 years old, he was 180 pounds. "I was overweight because I used to come home and eat a cookie sheet of nachos and watch Oprah every day of my life," he told fans back in 2006. Now, he's also shared stories about swimming with his shirt on and shopping in the plus size section of retail stores. Now, in 2022, Ryan confessed that he's still affected by the bullying he faced about his weight as a kid. "I cannot get past it. I've talked to our experts about it, but for some reason, I just cannot see that guy," he said. Now, some people even suspect that Ryan might be using Ozempic. Now, the weight loss medication Ozempic is all the craze right now, with a lot of different celebrities on it. Celebrities all over Hollywood have mysteriously been slimming down quickly, and pretty much all of it is due to the weight loss medication. And Ryan even has some markers for it, known as Ozempic face, as his face is thinner and more gaunt, like other people in the comments have pointed out. But a source told Page 6 of Ryan's slimmed down look, Ryan has recently been doing a new workout routine, working with a new trainer, Dodd Ramiro, combined with Pilates and yoga for the first time. That's created a visible change. Now, the insider additionally noted he's also been enjoying vacation time this summer and eating lots of pasta. Regardless of what's going on, we all hope that Ryan is okay.
Number 10. Ariana Grande. The singer spoke up about skinny shaming when she saw a tweet comparing herself to Modern Family actress Ariel Winter. One person tweeted about being asked which one he would prefer to date, and he replied that he'd choose Ariel over Ariana because according to him, curves are sexy and sticks are not. Although he probably couldn't have imagined his tweet going viral, Ariana actually responded to him, only to condemn the comparison. Quote, "We live in a day and age where people make it impossible for women, men, anyone to embrace themselves exactly as how they are." She also had a great comeback for him, saying that misogyny, objectifying, labeling, comparing, and body shaming were definitely not sexy in her opinion. Her fans came out in support of her, which was good to see considering that in 2015, many took to Twitter voicing their concern when Ariana pulled up to the 57th annual Grammy Awards looking rather lean. When her own fans commented on her especially petite frame, Ariana said that it was because she had given up junk food. It's a little bit sad that she even had to explain herself. Number 9. Kendall Jenner. In 2013, Kendall opened up to Harper's Bazaar Arabia, revealing that she was currently dealing with skinny shaming. Quote, "I'm constantly criticized for being too skinny." The star told the magazine that while she is trying to gain her weight back, her body won't let it happen. She continued on, saying that what people don't understand is that calling someone too skinny is the same as calling someone too fat. And we can actually see that in a 2018 promo for Revenge Body with Khloe Kardashian. The host revealed that Kendall had actually been battling skinny shaming since she was a child. According to Khloe, Kendall was always very thin and was actually bullied because of her weight. Khloe added that she thinks all forms of body shaming are wrong and that people don't sympathize when people are body shamed for being too thin, which is extremely true considering that people tend to make fun of those who say they are trying to gain weight for their health instead of lose it. So it's clear that despite being the highest paid supermodel of all time, even Jenner is not immune to being body shamed. Number 8. Sarah Jessica Parker. The Sex and the City star's weight has long been a topic of discussion since the series premiered in the 90s. In 2004, she sat down with Oprah and addressed the issue of women idealizing her thinness. Quote, actresses have this weight standard for professional reasons, but I think the standard is impossible for women in America. Parker recognizes that her size is not the norm for other women. In fact, she doesn't want women looking to her weight as if it is. She goes on to say that while filming Sex and the City, her job required her to put on a little dress and run around the streets of New York in heels. But she stresses that she also had the financial means to hire a yoga teacher to come to her house while a babysitter looked after her newborn baby. Quote, for 95% of the world, that's not realistic. Parker also recognizes that there are likely genetics at play. While the actress admitted to People in 2008 that she eats seriously everything, she said that she thinks she just has a predisposition to being slim, which was overall a very honest way of looking at it. Number 7. Ruby Rose. The Australian model and actress Ruby Rose is all too familiar with being skinny shamed throughout her career and just simply existing as a public figure in general. After posting a photo of herself on Instagram in October 2017, you can guess the kind of body shaming she received. Several Instagram users rushed to the comments to call the actress anorexic. The sad thing is that Rose did in fact take notice of all the accusations being tossed around and felt that she needed to share a message with fans in an Instagram story. She wrote that it's so frustrating because she says she just doesn't get upset at the criticism itself, but she hates it because it worries her fans or shames them. Quote, I hate it because it uses no logic and basically is just someone projecting their experience and expectations on others. The actress explained that she really does eat a healthy, plant-based diet and doesn't drink alcohol or eat processed foods, also adding that she used to be a boxer and she recently trained very hard for her role in several action films. Number 6. Angelina Jolie. Unfortunately, after her mother passed away from ovarian cancer in 2007, Angelina Jolie lost weight. But even under those tragic circumstances, her weight loss was noticed and harshly criticized. The actress was kind of pushed to speak up about her body, telling Grazia, quote, I have always been lean and this year I lost my mother and I've gone through a lot. The star's weight loss was not intentional, but it was actually because of grief, which is something that she was adamant about clarifying. She goes on to say that she's not trying to look thin, but that she's trying to work through a very difficult year. Angelina further expressed that she found it disturbing that people wouldn't first consider if a person who had lost a lot of weight might be going through something traumatic, which is completely true as no one ever thinks that there might be another underlying reason to somebody being thin. Number 5. Lucy Hale. When the Pretty Little Liars actress shared a photo of herself on Twitter in September of 2017, one man commented on the post saying that no straight men are signing off on that anorexic look, before asking Hale to please eat a hamburger. But as you could probably guess, the celeb was not feeling that horribly offensive message. Quote, as someone who used to struggle with anorexia, I don't take these comments lightly. I'm healthy, I'm happy, and you don't know me. Then in a separate tweet, Hale really stood up for herself and made it clear that she wasn't just going to accept body shaming, writing that she is disgusted that a man would even think of saying these absolutely awful words to a woman, and that he should be ashamed of himself. Although the problematic Twitter user obviously didn't welcome her opinion, Hale's fans and the Twitter sphere in general at least got the message. Many of her fans not only came to her defense, but they also expressed their gratitude for her decision to stand up to the person criticizing her body. Number 4. Gigi Hadid. The model seemed to cop the worst of both worlds when it comes to body shaming. In February of 2018, Gigi revealed that she was once considered too big for the industry. She clarified on Twitter, writing, quote, for those of you so determined to come up with why my body has changed over the years, you may not know that when I started modeling at 17, I was not yet diagnosed with Hashimoto's disease. Gigi said that those who felt that she was too heavy to be a model were actually seeing water retention and inflammation, which are all symptoms of her thyroid disease. In addition to being thought of as too fat, Gigi has also been considered too thin. In a separate tweet, the model said that since her health has improved from her teenage years, she's better able to manage her condition, and her outward symptoms have dissipated. Quote, I may be too skinny for you, but I feel healthier internally. Later, the supermodel urged people to have more empathy for others and to lift up those that you admire rather than be cruel to those that you don't. Very wise words. Number 3, Celine Dion. When photos of the 51-year-old singer from last year's Met Gala surfaced, people noticed that she had in fact lost weight. This got them curious as well as concerned for her. Celine Dion has addressed her weight loss and reassured her fans that she is doing well. She emphasizes that she eats healthy and works out regularly. The iconic singer's response to others' criticism about her weight was all very well done. If you think about it, throughout her whole career, she's had to defend herself from critics saying that she's too skinny. So by now, she would have some pretty epic comebacks up her sleeve. In a 2019 interview with Dan Wootton, Dion said that those who don't like her looks need not be bothered. Quote, "Don't take a picture." The star further revealed that she's just experimenting with different looks because naturally she wants to feel attractive. She added, quote, "I'm doing this for me. I want to feel strong, beautiful, feminine, fierce, and sexy." According to the icon, it's not about being thin or too thin, it's about feeling your best. Number 2, Doja Cat. Doja Cat is sick of trolls at this point who are commenting on her body online, and she's taken to social media to call out people doing it. On June 25th, Doja went on Instagram Live, and she used it as an opportunity to address people who think it's okay to make remarks about her weight. The 26-year-old filmed herself sitting at her laptop while she got Siri to recite a passage that she wrote in response to people saying she's too skinny, and making creepy comments about her body. Via Siri, she says that people constantly bring up the fact that she's skinny because they think that it's their place to speak about it, but she clarified that it's down to her decision to eat more healthy and work out. Quote, "I used to be thick, and that's forever going to be your problem. Your problem, not mine." She goes on to say that while the internet is suffering about how her body looks, she's happy and living her best life. She even called commentators creepy when they say they prefer how she used to look, because it has nothing to do with her own health or happiness. And coming in at number 1, Sarah Hyland. After she was accused of promoting anorexia with her appearance, Modern Family's Sarah Hyland took to Twitter in May of 2017 to finally respond to some of the barrage of body shaming that she's been receiving online. Quote, "I don't normally comment on things like this because it draws attention to those trying to spread negativity, but I'm here to explain a few things and spread love." At the time, the actress wasn't ready to share all of what she's been going through, but she did tell her fans that she's been on bed rest over the course of several months, and as a result, had lost a lot of muscle mass. But it wasn't until late 2018 when Hyland was actually ready to openly talk about her health struggles. The actress told Self magazine that she had received a second kidney transplant and underwent several surgeries, including one for endometriosis and another for an abdominal hernia within the 6 months before the interview. Of course, all of this intensive surgery meant that it was quite drastic on her body, and she ended up losing a bit of weight. It's a little depressing to realize that Hyland's body was being criticized at the very same time she was striving so hard to heal. Number 10, Crystal Ren. The plus-size model seemed to stir up controversy and criticism online when she went from a size 14 to a size 8. Quote, "I think that by placing a title on my head, which is plus size, and then the picture that these people have created in their mind about what plus size actually is, I've basically just failed you with that." The model told ABC News that because she couldn't possibly live up to that, and that at this point she says she would actually have to have another eating disorder to live up to that expectation. Ren first started modeling at only 16 years old, and as a result she struggled with in order to fit the mold of a sample model size, but she apparently still wasn't considered skinny enough in the industry and was almost out of work entirely. But Ren fought against it and eventually became an incredibly successful model at a size 10 to 14. But after dropping to a size 8, her agent Gary Decken told her that she was now in between plus size and sample size. Although she faced criticism for being too thin, Decken confirmed that the model is healthy and feels amazing. Number 9, Kelly Ripa. Live with Kelly and Ryan host is very used to people body shaming her and actually enjoys firing back at trolls. In an Instagram video of herself reading mean comments about her size, the actress said, quote, "I love trolling a troll, it is my favorite thing to do." This was all in response to one user complaining about the star wearing too much makeup, claiming that it made Ripa look like a wax figure. The host then made a joke that she actually wears more makeup than a wax figure, and she would know since there's shares a wax figure of her at Madame Tussauds. But most trolls attack Kelly's weight, with one user writing that they think her head looks too big for her tiny body. She then clapped back by telling them that 2 was misspelled. But unfortunately, she is all too familiar with the comments about her small frame. In fact, her husband, Mark Consuelos, even had to come to his wife's defense on Instagram in 2018 after several people would not stop criticizing the host for just being too skinny. Quote, "She works extremely hard in her professional life, and her commitment to exercise, healthy diet is admirable, and the benefits show." Gotta love that support from her husband, and that's really great to see. Number 8, Ariel Winter. When one person on Twitter pitted Ariel Winter against Ariana Grande, they were both labeled curves and sticks respectively. But the thing is that Ariel has also been on the receiving end of skinny shaming. The star of Modern Family shared a series of photos of herself on Instagram in January 2019, and she received a barrage of hate comments about her size, and people apparently weren't too happy with her new smaller figure. Fans flooded her comment section, calling her too skinny now and saying that she has lost her butt. A lot of people also took a more passive-aggressive approach when criticizing the young star and saying, quote, "I'm so sorry you felt the need to dramatically change your appearance," even adding sarcastically that they hope Ariel is happy now with her appearance. But it didn't stop there. Many people also accused the actress of resorting to plastic surgery to achieve her new look, and proceeded to call her a bad role model for other young women. But Ariel defended herself very well, saying, quote, "I appreciate you wanting to help girls love themselves the way they are, but you are also kind of cutting someone down, which isn't what I think you were trying to do." She then had to clarify that no, she didn't get plastic surgery, and reminded the same fan that their behavior wasn't an effective way to support women. Number 7, Gal Gadot. When the Israeli actress was first cast as Wonder Woman way back in 2015, the backlash she received online was swift, because many people believed that she was too underweight to play the DC Comics superhero. Gal was harshly criticized by superhero fans for being flat-chested, and ended up accepting that she was too skinny when she looked back at pictures of herself from 5 years ago. Weeks after the initial outcry, the now 37-year-old opened up for the first time on the body criticism that came with getting her breakout role. Speaking to Israeli television show Good Evening with Guy Pines, Gadot revealed, quote, "I represent the Wonder Woman of the new world." And when asked whether or not she would be gaining weight for the role, she said that she will only be gaining body mass and training very hard to build muscle. Then a few years later, in an interview, she looked back on the pressure to conform to what fans' idea of Wonder Woman was supposed to be. Quote, "They said I was too skinny and my were too small. They said my head was too big and my body was like a broomstick." But she went on to say that when it comes to criticism, she can take anything because it's just empty talk, and that she understands that part of what she's doing means being exposed, and part of being exposed is being under fire. Number 6, Emma Stone. In a 2014 interview with 17, Emma hit back at body shamers who were way too comfortable commenting on her body and criticizing her for losing weight. Most of the fans that jumped aboard the hate train were accusing her of conforming to the pressures of Hollywood and basically calling her a sellout. But Emma brilliantly shut down criticism by explaining that her weight loss was actually just a result of age and very natural, and that it wasn't about meeting societal expectations. Quote, "I feel it can be really challenging in today's world for anyone, especially girls and women, to feel good about their bodies." She went on to say that no matter how things look from the outside, we can all be super critical of ourselves and our image in the mirror, and that she's actually seen all of the various articles and comments that have addressed her weight and saying that she's caving to pressure to be thin. But instead, she insists that keeping weight on is a struggle for her, both because of stress and the fact that she's just getting older. She says that it's just the way that her genes have decided to go, and things will change as time goes on. The actress ended her comment by calling the statements completely untrue, and that's why she's defending herself. Number 5, Bella Hadid. Bella Hadid once again found herself on the receiving end of criticism from those who believe the model looks too thin. The negative comments came flooding in shortly after Love magazine posted a video on Instagram of Bella wearing a variety of revealing one-piece bathing suits that show off her frame and prominent hip bones. In the clip, the then 22-year-old model spoke about body image. Quote, "Growing up, I definitely was not the most confident person. I kind of was always searching, so I guess when I felt the most beautiful was very recently, in the past 2 years when my health was at its best. But the internet was way too quick to disagree with her, with one user even commenting that she was talking about self-acceptance as she's withering away to bones, and going on to blame the modeling industry, calling it barbaric and disgusting with its beauty standards. Another user wrote that the video represented an extremely unhealthy message to impressionable young girls, and basically blames Bella for looking the way she did in that swimsuit. After the backlash, the model later posted a photo on Instagram with a caption to slam those who made assumptions about her weight, saying that all body types are different and react differently to a great workout routine and a healthy diet. Number 4. Zendaya. In 2016, Zendaya and feminist comedian Julie Klausner got into something of a Twitter feud when she skinny shamed the Euphoria star for her appearance at the Kids' Choice Awards. In less than 140 characters, Julie managed to both skinny shame Zendaya and belittle the experiences of eating survivors. She tweeted, quote, "Zendaya's ultimate retort to Giuliana Rancic is starving herself down to the size of one of her elbows." If you're a little confused by that, the comedian was basically saying that Zendaya responds to Giuliana's criticism of her natural hair last year by losing weight. I mean, the tweet didn't really make a whole lot of sense, but she was probably just being nasty as a poor attempt at comedy or something. Add to the fact that she is supposedly a feminist, and it just comes off as really sad. She was trying to bring down another woman because of her size, and she probably thought that she could get away with it because it wasn't technically fat shaming. But just like the queen she is, Zendaya responded by educating Julie on why body shaming isn't a joke. Quote, "Do you find this funny? I will write another paragraph to educate you as well. Now everyone, go look in the mirror at their beautiful body and love that." Number 3. Bethany Frankel. The star of Real Housewives of New York and the founder of Skinny Girl Products, Bethany Frankel is among those who have been very harshly judged on the internet for being way too thin. Although she has received a huge amount of negative comments regarding her weight, she doesn't seem too stressed about it and instead saw it as an opportunity to talk about body shaming as a whole, responding to the criticism in a really thoughtful way. In an interview with the podcast Fortune Unfiltered, she said, quote, "I think being thin is a very, very polarizing thing. I think people get mad at you for it, or it makes themselves feel better if they can say, well, she doesn't eat, and she works out every day, neither of which are true." Hitting back at the rumors that she diets like crazy or deliberately starves herself, she told listeners that she in fact does eat, and insisted that she stays away from fat-free foods and instead just sticks to smaller portions of the food that she loves. Frankel said that she's also adamantly against weight loss programs. Quote, "The word diet has the word die in it, and it's a multi-billion-dollar business because diets do not work." Number 2. Leanne Rimes. After Dean Chalamet and Leanne Rimes divorced, many people became focused on the singer's weight. After taking to Twitter to share a photo of herself in a bikini in 2011, Rimes was hit with a barrage of comments calling her scary skinny. One user even tweeted, quote, "Sorry, don't mean to offend, but that's a lot of bones showing through skin." But people often fail to see the irony of not meaning to offend someone and then commenting on such a personal matter for them like their body weight. Rimes hit back saying that those bones were actually just her abs, and shutting down the unnecessary hate. Quote, "This is my body and I can promise you I'm a healthy girl. I'm just lean. Thank you for your concern, but no need to be," which is a great way to respond to such a ridiculous critique. Even though fans may have been genuinely worried about the star's weight, she surely didn't appreciate having her body labeled as scary. Often people use health concerns as a way to seem sincere with their comments, but the truth is it can also be a scapegoat for those same people just hoping to use the excuse to shame your body. It's really quite sad, but anyone that was truly concerned or worried about your health wouldn't take the time to insult you first. It's just so unnecessary. Number 1. Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham has spoken about the consistent scrutiny over her body throughout her whole career, in particular when she named a specific time when she was weighed during a TV show in the 90s. Yes, you heard that right. She told Vogue Australia, quote, "I went on a TV show with Chris Evans many years ago, and I just had Brooklyn, and I lost a ton of weight after. It happened to my mom after her pregnancy. It doesn't mean you have an eating disorder. And he made me stand on the scales to be weighed. Can you imagine doing that nowadays? It's true that there's just no way something like that would happen today, but it must have been very traumatic for her at the time, considering the fact that she had just had a baby. And when talking about the constant comments about her body type, she said, quote, "I've had Porky Posh Spice on a headline, I've had Skeletal Posh. After I had Brooklyn, there was a picture on the front page of a newspaper pointing to every single part of my body where I had to focus on losing the weight from." Undoubtedly, Victoria's experience of body shaming was unacceptable, and things have certainly moved on in some ways since those days. Victoria even admits that nowadays there would have been an outcry if someone was asked to weigh themselves live on TV. But that's not to say that body shaming still doesn't occur on the regular. And she's absolutely right, because Victoria's experiences with skinny shaming represent all the pressure that women face in society to be the ideal weight.
In our number 10 spot, we have Mary-Kate Olsen. It was early 2004, and Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were receiving one of their biggest awards to date. It was a big accolade for them, their star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Don't know how much they care about it now that they no longer are acting, but YOLO. I will never forget it, because instead of celebrating the billionaire twins that convinced all of us 90s kids to run to Walmart to buy their clothes because they were so cool, instead of celebrating a huge moment in their life, every tabloid everywhere focused on how thin Mary-Kate was. She had an opened back dress on, and every tabloid was zooming into her ribcage and commenting on her body. It's all anyone talked about for weeks, months even, because that's what we were being bombarded with. At this point in the 2000s, this was the dawn of Us Weekly and the paparazzi. I feel like Brit met K-Fed during this time, so all anyone did was, read gossip magazines. Anyways, poor MK was ripped apart, and I bet you anything that contributed to her and her sis making the final decision to leave acting forever. So sad. I truly wish they had like a YouTube channel or something. I miss their content so much. Die-hard Olsen fan, run her. In our number 9 spot, we have Natalie Dyer. In 2016, when the epic drama Stranger Things came out, the world was instantly obsessed. I myself watched it twice back to back because I loved it so much. Along with everyone commenting on how amazing and unique the show was, people were also putting in their 2 cents about Natalie Dyer. Natalie Dyer has always been known as someone to be rather thin, however in Stranger Things people noticed that she got even thinner than normal, and a lot of people took to Twitter and commented on how skinny she was. People were unhappy that she was casted in the lead role and spoke about her management and how they should be making sure that she's well instead of making her work. Now some argue that they were speaking from a place of concern, but others were coming from a place of judgment. It's been 4 seasons and she is still dealing with this feedback from fans. In our number 8 spot, we have Sarah Hyland. Over the years, Sarah has been under a lot of criticism for her weight. In fact, people literally said in 2018 that she was promoting anorexia. This is probably the most ignorant thing of all time to say to someone whom they don't even know for sure if she's struggling with it. Because if she was, it's a mental disorder, and putting her under more mental stress from the worry of the statement could be extremely detrimental to someone struggling with it. In our number 7 spot, we have Angelina Jolie. Angelina's small frame has been the subject of criticism for years. In Angelina's case, so much of the world remembers how strong and fit she was in Lara Croft Tomb Raider and Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and so people think that her weight loss shows that she's ill, but the actress has always been thin and people fluctuate over time. People have been brutal in calling her sick and anorexic. Apparently Angelina has admitted to trying many different cleanses over the years, and so that would definitely contribute to weight loss, but it's no one's business. Angelina has never fought back against the comments, but sources have said that she's gone to many doctors and she's been told that she's healthy. In our number 6 spot, we have Denise Richards. Denise Richards has been a very popular actress and model since the 90s, and she's always been a skinny girl. At some points in her career, she has become very thin, and the public was not nice to her about it. She was often called shockingly thin by the tabloids, which feels like they were trying to insult her, but in the nicest way that they could. Typical Hollywood. Denise has had to deal with so much bad press over the years because of her relationship with ex Charlie Sheen, and so many have commented that the stress of that, along with all the regular Hollywood pressures, probably contributed to her losing weight at times. In our number 5 spot, we have Kate Moss. Kate Moss, the longtime Calvin Klein jeans spokesperson, has been accused of being anorexic so many times over the years that a trend was formed after her called as people that would do the illicit drug would look as skinny as her. Pretty horrible, and such a telling of the times and how harsh the tabloids were. Kate was known as being one of the most skinniest supermodels of all time at one point, and the world never seemed to stop talking about it. When asked why she was so skinny, Kate merely said that she was not anorexic, but that she just didn't eat because she was working too hard. In our number 4 spot we have Zendaya. Probs one of my fave celebs in the world right now. Zendaya has unfortunately had to deal with so many people skinny shaming her over the years. One time in particular was by a comedian actress named Julie Klausner in 2016, who calls her a thinspo model for your impressionable teens and accused her of, quote, starving herself down to the size of one of her elbows. But Zendaya, who's just awesome, wasn't having it. She took to Twitter to respond and she said, "Do you find this funny?" Damn. She then further commented, "Now everyone go look in the mirror at their beautiful body and love that. Hashtag thick girls winning, hashtag skinny girls winning, hashtag we all winning." God, I love her. In our number 3 spot we have Kate Middleton. This one shocked me, as I've always had the impression of Kate Middleton looking thin but normal, not too skinny. It's really quite sad to hear that people are always commenting on her weight and shaming her for being too thin. Apparently people were also commenting when she was pregnant, saying that her baby bump wasn't big enough. What do you even say to that? I'm sorry folks, I will do better next time. How can one have a baby bump that is too thin? That is in no way anyone's control. Or is it? I don't know. I've never been pregnant, but I don't think so. And that is just so silly to hear and so sad that the British public and the world wouldn't leave a soon-to-be mother alone during a beautiful time in her life. Super disappointing. In our number 2 spot we have Kate Bosworth. Oh my gosh, do you all remember the movie Blue Crush? Till this day, it is one of my favorites. I hate surfing, but man, does that movie make me want to surf, and Kate is amazing in that movie. It was after that movie that Kate lost a little bit of weight, and the public had so much to say about it. People would comment that she was wasting away because of how different she looked. I cannot believe that anyone could have the audacity to say that about any person. That is truly so horrible, and you just never know what someone is going through. I remember she got hounded for her weight for a very long time, and once again, this was during the same crazy paparazzi time of the early 2000s. Celebrity females of this time had to deal with so much and were so heavily criticized. I'm so thankful that we are living in a much better time now. In some ways, obviously, not in always. In our number 1 spot, we have Keira Knightley. Bend It Like Beckham was the movie of 2002. I was obsessed along with the rest of the world. Keira Knightley was one of the actors in that movie, and I remember how harsh people were on her about her weight. She was constantly labeled as anorexic, and people didn't really leave her alone much till Pirates of the Caribbean stole the hearts of people everywhere. But even after that, the tabloids still called her too thin. Keira once talked about how she was always skinny shamed and said that dealing with all that was so hard and that she would never encourage her future hypothetical teen daughter to pursue acting because of the pressure and criticism.